first time you receive an email from somebody, maybe they're looking to engage your services or your product, or they're looking to strike up some kind of, they've communicated with you via email for a particular reason, and presumably that reason is going to be mutually beneficial, and you want to have the advantage. Maybe they've contacted a number of people with regard to a service. Now, when the email comes through, I want you just to look at it. Do they use spaces between each paragraph, or do they not? Have they altered the text font and the text size and the text colour? You know, maybe they choose to have a bigger text font because they find it easier to read when they're sat at a computer screen. They find a bigger text font easier to read. Now, when you reply, it makes sense to use the bigger text font. You could maybe use the different colour, or you could change the text size or the text font. Have a look at the way they lay out their email. Now, of course, people use slang in emails and colloquialisms. They use those emoticons, those smileys. Again, these are things to look at, to be aware of, and to parrot back. Now, when it comes to emails, people tend to forget about things like predicates. People will, in their emails, they will use their visual or auditory or kinesthetic predicates. It sounds like a great idea. It sounds like a really good thing. So it's an audio. I've looked at your website. I can see the benefits of your service. Now remember, they work in the written form too. So we will look for the predicates within the emails. We will also look for the proactive or the reactive language, the passive language or the proactive language. And you might want to paste some passive reactive language and then lead into some proactive language. You can use extra spaces. So in things that are really important, just like in our communication, we will mark out with our tonality and our gestures certain things that are important. You can do this obviously with making things bold or italic, but you can do it in a more subtle way by putting just one extra space in front of the phrase that you want to mark out, and maybe an extra space at the end of the phrase. You can mark these things out ever so subtly. Now, different text fonts can look virtually identical, but ever so slightly different. So we can use these kind of techniques as well. When you're communicating with somebody via email, all of these should be taken into consideration, because you want to strike up a rapport with this person. And maybe, like I say, this is the first point of contact they've had with you. And if it is, if your email comes back and the text size is the same size that they're used to and that they find easy to read, and the spacing of the email is the same, and you've used the same acronyms, and you've used the same slang, and you've used the same style of language, you've used the same predicates, you've looked at their reactive passive language, you've matched all of these aspects, your email is going to communicate volumes about you. It's going to communicate a lot about you and how you are almost just like them. You're so similar to them. I get a feeling that this is the right one to go with. Maybe they're a little bit more expensive, but yeah, I'm going to go with these guys because there's just something that feels friendly, familiar, just right about these people. So today, I'm sure you'll get some emails. Have a look at the emails, especially if you get an email from somebody for the first time, or maybe dig back through your inbox and have a look at an email that you got from a potential client or somebody that contacted you for the first time, and have a look at their email and the way they lay it out. And be aware of this today with every email that you write. Be aware of how you can adjust subtly your email to match theirs.